Yo, what's going on? You tuned in to the Home Team Heroes Season 1, Episode 2. I'm SB.
I'm Banks.
And,
Shakir Bell.
and we got a special guest with us today, man. A guy that I know, I think I could count probably over 20K rushing in multiple different leagues. And a lot of touchdowns, a lot of carries, man. A lot of broken tackles, man. We got an Indianapolis legend. Definitely somebody that a lot of people looked up to growing up, whether they want to admit to it or not. But we got Shakir Bell.
What's happening?
All right, so I'm gonna pop it off, get straight to it. I'm gonna start off with a little story that how I actually met this guy. Well, I technically he didn't meet him first like that way, but the first time I seen him, it was 2013, my freshman year. Y'all was playing IU, and I wasn't even really watching for like our team like that. Like, you feel me? I'm new to the school, but it was this dude that played high school against it was a rival high school name. It's a dude named Tevin Coleman. He called him Cookie or something like that. Yeah. So he used to kill us in high school. He used to kill us, like, bro. They scoring 50 in the first half on us, bro. Like, so I'm like, I'm gonna see if it translates, you know. Y'all started off kind of slow, you know. I think early on you started off with a fumble, but you start like getting little yards here and there. Game was looking kind of shaky, you know. I ain't trying to put y'all on blast, but y'all was down like 7-45 or something like that. It was kind of bad. Yeah. So, but now what kind of made me realize somebody on the field for my team, you kept trying to run it, I'm like, bro, I'm not even into football that much yet. So I'm like, bro, why they keep giving this dude the ball? Like, this dude, you're not doing nothing. Like, but you had a nice little breakout for like 45, 50. Y'all end up scoring on that drive, and then y'all end up turning it around doing, I think, like a fumble recovery or something. Y'all scored back, so it ended up being like 21-45. I'm like, man, this dude fighting. So that's like the kind of heart I look up to that type of stuff, like the underdog, the fighter. So I'm like, man, I gotta figure out who dude is, bro. So with that being said, like with the stats and stuff like that, my first question for you is, at what point did you realize, like, yeah, I'm that guy? And then at what point did you get that resilience? Like, can you tell like an age or experience or a moment? Like,
man, honestly, shit. I appreciate y'all for having me on, man. Shit, I love doing stuff like this where I can come and talk, and you know what I'm saying? Like, just hearing people's like reaction to like my game it be blowing my mind still, you know what I'm saying? Cause shit, I'm damn near 30, so you know I be having to tell the guys now, like, hey, shit, I'm short, but I was like that. But nah, to answer your question, bro, and I started playing football when I was 6 years old, bro. Like 6 years old. You know, at first, I mean, I'm short anyway, so like I was real small back then. So they put me on the line because they didn't really think I could carry the ball. So then, like, whenever I got like 7, 8 years old, they let me start running the ball or whatever. And at first, I didn't like contact, bro. Like, that was this probably like the main thing that like made my game. And I always thank my mama for this, cause shit, like, I ain't like getting hit. Like, that shit hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you literally like, man, I don't want to get hit, bro.
Big dudes
out there. She bro, what? They be salivating when they see a little dude. They be like, yo, buddy. So, like, I didn't like that shit at first, but my mama, I'll never forget this shit. She was like, look, if you hit them first, it's going to hurt them worse. Like, all you got to do is like be an offensive player with a defensive mindset, bro. And I swear to God, bro, like, I done had like 6, 7 real concussions, but I'll never forget that, bro. Like, and that's kind of like what I tell my running backs now that I coach and that I mentor and stuff. I tell them, like, figure out what your superpower is. You know what I'm saying? Like, my superpower was I never let one person tackle me. I would be so offended with myself if I let one person tackle me, bro. Like, so like I've always just been a dude like, shit, I don't give a damn if a dude faster than me, if he bigger than me. If he faster than me, he can catch up. Shit, he got to be able to take me to the ground. You know what I'm saying? So I always just played like that. So that's kind of, if that answers your question, that's kind of like where I got like kind of like my grit from, like, type shit.
So growing up in Indianapolis, if I'm not mistaken, was your first league tab?
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, I played tab, played city ball, man. I ain't even play like the Tomahawks and the Warren football. I played in the city league.
Yeah, so me, kind of like the same story. I played a tab too. That was my first time playing. They put me on O line my first year. I'm like, man, O line, like this ain't this ain't what I want to do. I mean, I told moms like this might be my last time ever even doing this if I'm about to be out here on the O line. And the next year, I ended up playing quarterback and was going crazy. But it's crazy, small world, how a lot of people started off at Tab before they moved out to the townships or moved out in different directions. So just piggybacking off of that, and I know you stepped into fame at a pretty young age. I don't know if you was 18, 17, 18. What would you tell a young kid coming up when it comes to dealing with fame and dealing with the business of football at a young age?
So yeah, man. I mean, shoot. When I went to Warren, that was whenever we had four-peated. You know what I'm saying? That was my freshman year. Whenever we had Darren Evans, he rushed for 61 touchdowns in one season. Like, that shit's unheard of. You know what I'm saying? Like, he a 6'3", 230-pound fullback. You know what I'm saying? And like, they did four-peated. Like even think about it, like in the NBA, NFL, like pro leagues, like teams three-peat. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's astronomical if you're great. But for a high school to four-peat, that shit was just insane. So to be like a Warren Central football player back then, it was just like a whole different type of prestige. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could really like wear that shit like it's some, like if you in a gang or something, like, you know how you on, like we was really walking around with the orange stuff on, like, yeah, I'm a football player type shit. So then like by my sophomore year, that's whenever we had got in trouble for like practicing early.
I remember that.
And they had the
helicopter.
Yeah, they had the helicopter
going full throttle.
Yeah, like, so it's crazy because like in the city, and that's kind of what I be telling like my homeboys that still coach up at Warren and stuff. I be telling them like, man, like it used to be amazing to be a Warren Central athlete. Like, you could really walk around the city like with your chest poked out, and like people feel your energy before you even say anything to them, just because you're a Warren dude. You know what I'm saying? So like, that aspect of like, because you gotta think of it, we a whole bunch of East Side kids. Like, some of us don't have our mamas at the crib, some of us don't have our daddies at the crib. Like, so like getting that type of notoriety and getting that type of like love, you know what I'm saying? Like, that weighs heavy on the black kid, like a young black kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look forward to having your name on your jersey. You know what I'm saying? Coming out of the tunnel, getting your name announced, like. That type of individuality, like, kind of like molded a lot of us, and then it made you like, hey, I gotta be a starter. Like, oh yeah, I got a ball so that I could do that. So like, all my young dudes are like, and that's the crazy thing too. Like, and my bad, I keep going off on tangents, but it's all falling into what I want to. Yeah, so like my junior year, I had to play like slot receiver. You know what I'm saying? I was playing behind Cheese and Eric, and our lineage of backs, you got to think of it like. Well, Mark Bonds and them was like that, bro. Like, Mark Bonds, if it wasn't for fucking James Banks at Ben Davis, Mark Bonds, we would have damn near 5-6 beat it, because 01 and 02, you know what I'm saying? Like, them dudes was like that. Yeah, James Banks was just a dude, bro. Like, yeah. But like, we had Darren Evans, who rushed for 63 touchdowns in one season. 61 touchdowns in one season. We had Jewel Hampton, who went to Iowa and then went to Southern Illinois and then went and played for San Francisco 49ers and went to a Super Bowl with Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like in our line. And then we got Eric Williams and George Cheeseburg, where Eric, you know what I'm saying? Like, he went to Ball State and was balling. And then Cheese ended up circling back and going to ISU with me. And, like, Cheese was like that dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, fast, gonna chop you up. Like, yeah, bro. Like he was the original, you know what I'm saying? Like that. And then my senior year, boom, I come into it like, shoot, I got to put my name on this shit some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to, you know what I'm saying? So we came in with a mindset, and we was like the last class that was ever like even a part of like a championship. So I kind of like feel like my class was like that staple to keeping that Warren shit on track, and then shit, everybody just kept it going. But I mean, I tell all the little dudes, you gotta step into your role and embrace your role, whether it be, like I said, I was a role player my junior year. I was all conference from special teams, and I'm playing slot receiver. So just step into your role and own your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if you gotta be a role player, be the best role player. If you gotta be that dude, shit, drop your nuts. You know what I'm saying? And shit, put the team on your back.
Yes, sir. And piggybacking a little bit off of that question, because I was a younger dude. Like I seen, and especially when you come from Warren, like a lot of people think we don't work hard or we not grinding, like we getting things handed to us, and that's never been the case. I never seen a team like that. So I used to see like me being an incoming freshman, thirsty 30, going to the weight room and stuff. How hard you was going in the weight room. I'm like, man, this dude, he got to be on something. He going too hard. He going too crazy in the weight room, man. So just talking to the youth again, man, how important is it, man, to get behind them weights, get behind that program, and really dig deep, off the field too, to get ready for that season.
Yeah. So like when I was coming in high school, that's whenever they really started doing like the combines and the camps and stuff like that. So like for me, I went to DeSoto, Texas, and was a part of the underclassmen combine. I won running back of that combine back my freshman year, which was 06, 07. And then I went to the coach combine in 07 and did numbers there. And then I went to Georgia and went to the Under Armour All-American Combine and was in the top 3 running backs there. You know what I'm saying? So like I was going to other states and shit and seeing other backs and was like, damn, like, oh shoot, Indiana football can damn near measure up to, you know what I'm saying? Like we can't, like, we holding our own. And the thing was like people really look at like Florida schools and the southern schools because they can be outside all year round.
Florida fast. Let's recruit Florida. They fast. Like
exactly. They thinking all them guys just fast. So they think that they because they able to be outside all the time and just do that type of speed work and get sand workouts and sand pits and all that type of shit. Like they quick twitch muscles is crazy like that. So for me, I realized like, well shit, it's snowing here, can't go outside. Like I just got to go in the weight room. You know what I'm saying? Like I just got to go in there and be stronger than people. And that's really what like drove me into like becoming the player that I was, because I was an endurance guy. You know what I'm saying? All my kids that I teach, I be like, bro, like everybody's gonna be good in the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? People really gonna hit their stride in the second quarter once they get the jitters out the way. And you know what I'm saying? Like if you're a good player, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna start getting down in the second quarter. But the great athletes are amazing in the third and the fourth quarter because they don't get tired. You know what I'm saying? Like while everybody else working on 60, 70% energy left, they still at 80, 90. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a method to shit. Like I'm trying to hit people all first, second quarter. Like I'm just trying to run into you, get a 4-yard gain, 5-yard gain, all them. You know what I'm saying? That's like my method. So then by the third quarter, people like is damn near like tightening up, don't want to hit you by that third quarter. They're gonna try to like stalk you down and trip your feet up, so then you got enough space to make a nigga miss a little bit more. So it's like I tell people just to be more like a lot more calculated than what it is. You know what I'm saying? Don't just go out there and just play because it's fun. Because really, like I've been coaching for like it's like a startup program for a JUCO, and I tell these kids like shit. After high school ball, there's no love in this shit. Like after high school football, there's no love in the game. There's none. Like in college, they'll cut your ass. No matter, it don't matter if you ain't performing on the field. It don't matter if you about to graduate. If you about to do, they will cut your ass and then take your scholarship. Like that's
my next question too. So with your talent that you giving, you feel me, and give you notoriety. It give you big man on campus type vibes. What kind of things did you run into that gave you issues from transitioning from high school to college? So even though you weren't that far away from Indianapolis, but you still away from home, like what issues did you run into with that? And then to spin off that question, what on field things did you learn that helped you kind of adjust to that transition from high school to college?
So shit, when I went to Indiana State, I be telling this story too to a lot of people. Indiana State had the nation's
losing streak,
longest losing streak. Like Like they had, if you ever seen the movie The Water Boy, they had a worse record than the Mud Dogs. I swear to God, this is like these are bad. It was bad. So like I'm coming from Warren where should we getting Under Armour, everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is back in 06, 07, 08, 09 when Under Armour just now like the hottest shit, you know what I'm saying? So like we can really go
the movie.
like we can go in there and get whatever the hell we want. And I'm coming to college, bro, and like it was like completely opposite. Like didn't nobody give a fuck about the football team, bro. Like we didn't have no sponsorship, bro. We was wearing New Balance, bro.
Games empty.
Stadiums, bro. We going to class, and the professors is making jokes about how bad we is. Like damn, like I know ain't nobody going to the football game. Y'all just like talking shit, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, bro. You don't even know, bro. Like, I'm like that, so I don't give a fuck what you talking about. And I say something like, I'm like, nah, y'all can come because we gonna ball. Watch. And then it was dang near kind of dope because it like gave me a better relationship with my professors too. You know what I'm saying? Because then like they were like, all right, well we'll see. And then people be talking shit on campus shit, and then we start winning, and it just that changed everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, our first season, they told us, if y'all don't have a winning season, we going to cut the program. Like, there's no more football. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're cutting it, no more football. And we went in there, and my freshman year, I was a freshman all newcomer, even though I was splitting reps with a fifth-year senior my freshman year. And I had like 69 carries for like 700 yards, 780 yards or some shit like that. And that was just like my freshman year. But then like shit, my sophomore year, that's when I went crazy, bro. Like I led the nation in rushing. I led the nation in yard. I had like 1,670 yards rushing that season. I averaged 151 yards a game. I was the youngest player to be up for the Walter Payton Award. I was the first Indiana football player to win like 4 All-American lists. Like I went dumb, like they had crazy ass numbers, like, and then that shit really like put Indiana State back on the map, like to where I was like, okay, now motherfuckers got to start like watching out for us. And then shit, that was the year we played Penn State too, like 110,000. Never that was Joe Paterno's last year before the whole scandal. So like we go there before the whole little Sandusky shit and all that shit. We played them that season, bro. And when I say, bro, these motherfuckers came out looking like monsters. That shit was crazy.
I know players were scared. I know you had to probably give a pep talk or two about even going on the field.
Bro, like that was the difference though. Like Coach Miles knew how to recruit like a mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like I went to college and I was already squatting 505, benching 335, but my old lineman and only squatting 450 and shit. Like you know what I'm saying? These is guys that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like these are guys that we playing D1 ball, but you know what I'm saying? They was probably like 3-star rating or something, or went to a class 2A school or 3A school. What was pretty nice though. You know what I'm saying? So like we had motherfuckers that was dogs. Like I played with some dog ass motherfuckers in college, but shit, it was really just like our mentality, bro. Like Trent Miles did some shit. So like that transition, just to answer your question, that transition was really like, you know what I'm saying? We had so much to prove. It was it wasn't. I didn't come in there with no fucking big head, because you know what I'm saying. Like I knew I was dope, but at the end of the day, shit, we got the odds against us. Like shit, the odds say that y'all motherfuckers are supposed to lose. Like
nothing to measure to. You guys was like, we ain't got nothing to lose. We ain't got nothing to do but go out here and ball at that point.
Bro, backs against the wall type shit. So it made it dope to be a part of like, you know what I'm saying, like resurrecting that shit. So I always tell niggas like, it ain't no nigga other than Larry Bird that was bigger than me at Indiana State.
Let's go.
Talk, hey,
On that
talk
shit,
heavy, man.
Let's
Talk
go.
heavy, shit.
every record except for 2 records, and I was 122 yards away from all-time leading rusher and 2 touchdowns away from all-time leading scorer. So, like, nigga, every record I hold. So, there ain't no nigga bigger than me out there.
Hey,
crazy.
talk heavy, man. You earned that. Okay, nobody take that.
Right.
Can't nobody take that away from you. But like when you left, like, and I don't think I ever told you, like, when you left Warren, you were so misunderstood, and I think it comes to when you a littler person, like, and I try to tell the bigger guys is like, when you bigger, a lot of people not gonna try your character. They're not gonna. The respect is different. Like when you a littler person, I don't care if you strong or not. When you a littler stature person, people the respect ain't the same if you 6'3" and some change.
Yeah.
So like when you little, you can't let everything slide at a young age.
Can't let shit slide.
As soon as you let one thing slide,
always somebody trying you, like you trying to step on me. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a lot. And I know I definitely got a bad rep for the same things, but it's just like I'm 5'6" and I'm the starting running back. Like I can't keep letting you try me. Like I let you try me now. Everybody else think they could just pull the same thing. So it's like, speaking on that, and one thing I regret just as a player, and I don't like to regret a lot of things. One thing I regretted was not being able to keep my poker face in situations that I couldn't control.
Yeah.
And I be trying. I'm back at Warren coaching too. I be coaching with the freshman team with Steve.
Yeah, I know.
So I be telling, appreciate it. I be telling the young dudes, like, man, you can't control it. Don't worry about it. Ain't no sense for you getting mad, because as soon as you get mad and get out of character, especially as a football player, especially as a black football player, you get mad and get out of character. And like you said, once you leave high school, and I'm gonna go even further, even in high school, like you get that tag or that label is, especially being littler and harder to recruit, you get that tag as being hard to work with or uncoachable. You might, and like I said, like to this day, people probably be in the same room. Oh, hey Shakir, hey, we love you, but go right behind you and be like, Shakir was the most difficult person to work with in the world. And I seen your work ethic, so I know you wasn't taking play. Like, bro ran for almost 4,000 yards with a high ankle sprain and a cast on his thumb. Like you gave him everything you could get him, and you would still get. And it's crazy that you would still hear negative to your name.
You know, all right, so shit, just to even comment on that, bro, like, it's just crazy because, you know what I'm saying, because I am, and I tell people, like, I'm an aggressive person, I'm a hothead, you know what I'm saying, but, like, just because of how I've had to deal with all the situations I've had to deal with, I learned how to, like, keep my cool. So even whenever I get mad or whenever I do pop off, I'm still able to keep my cool in them scenarios. Like, in a lot of situations where a lot of people would have reacted differently, I didn't kept my scenario, I didn't kept my cool. But whenever in other scenarios where shit shouldn't be that big, I won't let it slide. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's a balance for me. Like, big shit, like, when motherfuckers, like, do some all the way outlandish shit, like, I'll be calm and I'll be patient through it. I'll work my emotions through it, because I know if I take myself there, it's gonna go there. And that also comes with the, you know what I'm saying, the concussions, the CTE shit. Like I had 7 blackout concussions, you know what I'm saying? Like, where I was, you know what I'm saying, one of them, you know what I'm saying? So I know that shit's real, and that, like, I'm just saying now, but even back then, like, so this is the thing with me, and I'll go ahead, I'll tell the story, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand, like, what happened to me my senior year of high school, because, like, everybody just look at, oh, nah, bro, like, I seen how he done went off on a nigga, or I seen how he done snapped on a nigga. So if this person said that he did it, and I'm away with the fact that he probably didn't got shitty and said some shit to him or something like that. Bro, I got video footage of my head coach lying on me, saying that I used to quit in games, saying, all right, so look, Shaq, this is the funny thing, because you actually know the teams that I'm about to talk about. So I got a video of Coach John Hart, that's at Brownsburg High School. He's he's talking about the Maryville game, the Carmel game, and the State game. And in each game, the Maryville game, I ran for 250 by like the third quarter, and he set me out and let Buckley play. But he tell the story that I came up with an injury and ended up sitting on the sideline and said that I'm not gonna play. Like shit, I was like, nah, I'm not playing. Get away from me. And Derek had to come over there. And was like, hey, if you sit out on us now, don't come close to the team. And I was like, I'm hurt. And then he talked about the Carmel game where we ended up losing, but he said I came up with another catastrophic injury and I quit on the team and said I wasn't going back. And Derek said, if you don't come in the huddle, don't you talk to us. Like he's saying all this shit and saying my name too. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is him in 2013 in Chicago telling a story to a group of white kids that don't know me from Adam, like don't know me. So you can only imagine what he's saying to a motherfucking college coach. Like, and people don't even realize this, bro. Like, I was sold as a package deal, like to go to college. Like that was my recruit. Like that's the honest. I even got because I've been doing a documentary on myself. My head coach, Coach Trent Miles, he motherfucking even said it on tape. Like, yeah, it was told to us that if we didn't bring Derek in, we wasn't gonna get Shakir. And that's how I ended up at Indiana State.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Louisville, Cincinnati, IU, Purdue, Ball State, everywhere that came to recruit me, said they was told if Derek can't come there, Shakir can't come.
Wow. That's sick, bro.
And that's why I went to Indiana State, bro. Like, me and Derek went to Indiana State together, bro. I got all the footage of all this shit, bro. Like, and this ain't no he say she said shit. Like, and every time they ask me a question in college, like, hey, what happened? How did you end up in? Because I'm a parade All-American. It was only 3 parade All-Americans in Orange history before me. You know what I'm saying? It was Jeff George, Darren Evans, Jeremy Finch, then me. Like, I was parade All-American, and I'm going to Indiana State school with the nation's longest losing streak.
And you know, and it's crazy that you even saying this right now because as a youngster, they was telling us Shakir didn't have grades. He couldn't go to a camp and run a 40, so he couldn't. You know, that's why he ended up in Indiana State. He wasn't fast enough. He's such a grades wasn't good enough.
40.
Like, and that's just crazy.
And I know, and that's the crazy thing. I know that they said shit about my 40 and shit, but at the end of the day, bro, what? A 40? Yeah. Come on, bro. Even whenever I go to the combines and all that shit, I would run a 4.6, but I would still win best running back out of everybody because when we do one-on-ones, I'm cooking niggas. Like, I'm terrorizing niggas on it. Like, I ain't never run no really good 40. Only time I ever ran a 4.4 was when I did my workout for the Patriots. And that was in 2016, December of 2016, 2016. And that was the only time I ran a 4.4. But I already know, like, if you got a nigga that's having 3,105 yards, the nigga, he got 404 carries, but he averages 7.6 yards a carry. You gonna sit there and tell me you can't get him to a D1 school because of his 40?
Yeah. At that point, you're doing a bad job as a you know what I'm saying? I feel that.
Bro, 404 times you can give this man the ball, he gonna get you 7.6 yards a carry.
And you know, like another thing is, and I argue, you know, everybody argue with Warren. It's always an argument about Warren players. And me being a running back, especially being a little running back, I always put little running backs in that top, you know, category of backs. They be like, well, him. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get a vouch. You know, I always, you know, Cheese was probably one of my favorite. George Cheeseburg was probably one of my favorite running backs. Just out the fact that I watched him I went to Stony Brook. That was middle school. And like Cheese was just different. Like from a little kid, he was just different. Like you knew he was different. But like they would always say, well, anybody. This is the story I always hear. Anybody could have done it. Anybody could have got them yards with 400 something carries. Anybody could have did. Anybody. I'm like, bro, like y'all like to hate that bad about how I'm like, but to take away what you did. I'm like, and I'm coming to games. Like the person you was sold as a package to, y'all probably arguably had one of the best receiving corps in Warren Central history. There's no way that you should have even had to get 30 plus carries a night for y'all to win games.
You know what's but look, this is the crazy thing, Shaq, because look, I'm a numbers dude, and I told you I've been doing a documentary for about 7-8 years. Bro, I didn't even average like 30 carries a game. I averaged like 22 carries a game, but it was games where I had 40 carries because this nigga would just give me the ball left and right. Like
55,
it was
55, 54,
well,
55.
I had when we played Parameridian second game of sections, I had 7 carries, 180 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
7 carries, 180 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And I didn't play no more. That was all in the first quarter. And I didn't play no more.
Talk heavy.
That's just the truth, bro. If you give me 20 carries in that game, bro, I'm going to have 400, 500 yards. I'm going to be on ESPN. I'm going to do all like.
That's the thing I be saying. Like, if you watch Derrick Henry right now, like Derrick Henry gets 30 carries. The Titans give Derrick Henry the ball. Like,
because that's all they can do. Tannehill can't throw the ball to that. He can't get. That's all they can do. And that was my thing, bro. Like, only time that I had like crazy ass numbers of carries is whenever we about to lose the game, because all our games was close, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Derrick can't throw. I'm gonna just tell the truth, bro. Like, bro couldn't throw, and Maurice had over 1,000 yards, but it's because he was going up there and snagging it on it. It's like he's jumping over niggas and taking the ball from in front of him. You know what I'm saying? He taking us a bubble and housing that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how niggas was getting their yards. But if you go back and look at all our film, bro, like, I was getting the ball 4 or 5 times in a row. Yeah. Like, who gives a one player the ball 4 times in a row?
Yeah.
Shakir left, Shakir right, Shakir up the middle. So, of course, niggas say that they could do that, but you got to think about it too. A lot of niggas not built like me. A lot of niggas wasn't able to take that type of poundage. Right. Like, I was literally getting them carries, and I was making 4 people miss. So I'm getting hit.
Yeah.
I'm getting hit. Shit.
So with all that, I got a question with that too. Then I got a question with that too. Then, so like, you know what you put to the game, you know what you do, like, and both of y'all, got a hands-on experience with the youth right now. Both of y'all did good things with the football. You feel me? What would you tell to the kids, like, when they're trying their hardest to live honest, play honest, live honest, and all that, but they getting their name tarnished, they getting opportunity stripped from them, based off of what you learned from your experience of dealing with back then? Is there anything that you would tell them, like, hey, now, like, looking back, hey, this is what I would have did to make this opportunity a little bit better than what I was presented with, knowing what I offered?
You want me to go? Go first?
If you can go.
It's both of y'all, so I don't care.
My situation was different. Like, I took what Shakir did, and I study. Like I said, I like to study people too. So I seen how hard he was going, how crazy he was working out. So I was never as strong as you or Cheese. Like, I just knew the game of football. I knew how to play. I could squat a decent little amount, but I couldn't. I don't think I ever benched like 225 in my life. Like, I never even tried. So when people be like, so like, I'm probably in Warren Central history, I'm probably the smallest running back when it comes for pound that ever started. So my junior year, I went crazy my junior year. Like, I wish I had just graduated my junior year. So like, my story with Coach Hart, and this is like when I tell kids like about coaches and things, control what you can control, because like Coach Hart, like, it's like, I don't know what it was, but he treated me a little different than what I always heard from your situation. So he, like, when Coach Hart left Warren, he told me, he's like, Shaq, like, you're not that guy. He was like, I'm gonna just keep it real. Like, you're not that guy. Like, when I leave here, ain't nobody really gonna be here for you. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm hearing all your stories and things like that. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, is he being 100 with me, or is he sending me down a rabbit hole? But I mean, he ended up being 100 with me, because when he left, they switched to wing T. So I'm 160. They put me in a fullback position where I got my hand in the dirt. Killed my senior year. I mean, I don't even want to talk about all the the things that was going on, but I would tell a kid to just find that love for the game and hold on to it. Don't let nobody take the love, because when they take the love away from you, and it becomes something where you don't like. I used to love going to practice. Like, we going to practice, boom, I'm here. It got to the point where I'm coming to practice and I'm not even speaking. Like, I couldn't even find words. Everything I was taking was being twisted, and I think of twisted and made to go this way, or twisted to me being a cancer, twisted to me being this. So every time a situation would come about, I was just like, man, I don't even want to talk. Like, I'm at practice, I ain't missing practice, but I can't talk about it. But when I look back on that, I wish I'd have kept my poker face and never let them take the smile off my face. If I'd have kept my smile, that's the only thing I regret from high school is letting that happen. They took the joy that I had for the game. If I could have kept my smile and walked out with my head, no matter what happened, if I didn't rush for another yard, never started, whatever. But just that feeling right there, I don't never want another kid to have that feeling of something you've been doing since you was 5, being really taken from me to the point where I couldn't do anything about it but just watch it happen. And then watch watch teachers, faculty start treating me different. Like he said, when you go to Warren Central, I'm walking around and I'm just keeping it honest. I would walk around school with my jersey on. Nobody would say a word to me. I'm supposed to be in class. Good luck on the game. Good luck on the game. We lose 2 in a row. It's Shaq. We taking you out of this class and putting you in this class. Ain't no more study hall. Like stuff just start changing. So I tell all the young kids, like, you only get one opportunity at this, man. Control everything you can control and go 110 and just let your cards fall. But don't ever worry about what you can't control because it ain't gonna do nothing but drive you crazy.
At the moment you lose that passion, it become a chore. It ain't even a passion no more.
Facts.
Yeah. 100. I mean, like I tell my boys now, shit, man. People the fucked up thing about like how we portrayed as athletes and how we have to answer to our head coaches, and we got all these like people basically trying to judge our character while, you know what I'm saying, like we supposed to be animals on the field, but we supposed to be business and all this other stuff and be political and all that other stuff off the field. Like, and when you're an emotional player, you lead with your emotions. Like it carries on outside of it too. I remember my junior year, I was ready to leave because I was like, man, I'm a running back. I don't want to play slot receiver. I was like, man, y'all gotta give me carries, bro. This is my junior year, bro. Like, I gotta get my name out there, type stuff. And I tell, like I was saying, shit, people don't give a damn about what happened to you. They care about how you reacted. Like, that's the very first thing that somebody gonna judge you on is not what somebody did to you. It's about how you reacted to it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's mainly what I tell, because that's all you can control. The only thing you can control is your reaction. You can't control, like, if a motherfucker do some snake shit or if a motherfucker, like, only thing you can do is control how you react and control how you move. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself out of situations. I don't even think people know this about me, but, like, I got kicked out of school. I got kicked off my team my senior year of college, and nobody ever. Like, it was told to the media that I had a season-ending foot injury.
Wow.
Like, where, like, he can't play no more because he hurt his foot. He done for the season, yada, yada, yada. But I got kicked off the team, bro. Like, they brought me in the office and was like, hey, players think that you're a problem on the team. Coaches think that you're disloyal to the coaching staff, so we're dismissing you from the program. You can't come up to the facility no more. You can't interact with our players. You got to get all your stuff and leave. And nigga, it was me, my head coach, and my running backs coach in the office. Like, whenever he kicked me off the team, and I'm still getting treatment on my foot type shit. So as soon as he say that, it was like, how you want us to handle it? Like, I was like, because really he thought I was gonna snap. He thought I was gonna go off and fuck y'all. I said, listen, I appreciate y'all for the opportunity. I wish y'all luck on the season. Y'all have a good day. Shook his hand, shook my running backs coach hand, and I walked out. As soon as I walk out, I tell the training staff, I was like, listen, I just got kicked off the team. They told me I had to leave the facility. I got to get treatment on campus. I can't get treatment up here at the facility no more. And I was like, what? And then they all start like, what's going on? What's going on? So then I go into the locker room, and that's whenever they about to have a meeting to tell everybody, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we about to cut Shakir from the team or whatever. So before they even get to it, I go in there and I say something to everybody. I'm like, listen, I don't know what happened, but y'all all know me. I done been y'all captain for 4 years since I was a freshman. If any of y'all had problems with me, y'all know y'all could came and said something to me, but I just got dismissed from the team. And as soon as I said that, motherfucker, what? Oh, hell no, what you mean? I was like, look, bro, don't sweat it. I want y'all to go out there and ball. We still got 5 games left. And shit, I want y'all to just go finish the season out. So I went, grabbed my little stuff out of my locker, and I started walking home. And then that's whenever I started tweeting. I was like, look, I just got dismissed from the team. I know this shit gonna look bad on my whoop. And then my mom called me and she was like, "Hey, what's going on? What you talking about? Why is Jeff?" Because I was about to have a business manager. I was about to sign with a business manager, and she was like, "Why Jeff talking about? It's all on the internet that you got dismissed and whoop whoop whoop." And I was like, "Shit, they did dismiss. They kicked me off the team." And then I had a meeting with the president and the athletic director like 3 days later, and I was like, "Shit. As long as y'all don't say nothing bad about me to NFL teams, because they try to bring me back on the team because the head coach didn't give them no reason why he was kicking me off the team. So they was like, shit, if you want to come back, you can come back. Like we'll just say it was one big misunderstanding. And I was like, nah, as long as y'all not gonna mess up my Hall of Fame voting and don't say nothing bad about me whenever the NFL scouts come, and shit, we can just go our separate ways. And that's what we did, but. Man, it's so crazy because, bro, I'm telling y'all, man, when I finish this story, I finish this documentary, bro, and I show y'all all this footage, all this shit that I'm telling y'all, bro, motherfuckers gonna be like, bro, that shit's insane. Cause, like, I tell all my boys this, and I apologize if I get too deep because I was a psychology minor and an African American studies minor too. So, like, I feel like all black people in America, black men in America, feel like they're going to get their reparations based off of the 3 A's, being an actor, being an artist, or being an athlete. You know what I'm saying? And in all those 3 things, you have to go through a white man. If you want to be an actor, most of the directors are white. If you want to be an artist, most of the labels are ran by white men. If you want to be an athlete, at every level, most levels, the head coaches is white. So for us to feel like, for us to go get our reparations, go get our generational wealth, for us to go out there and get, you know what I'm saying, like what we need to do to solidify how we gonna take care of our family and break that generational curse, shit, we gotta go through that. And that's the path that everybody feel like they gotta go through. But I tell all my little dudes this, like, I'm trying to get my little niggas to get out that league or bust mentality. Cause shit, just as much energy as you putting in to go into the league, you putting that much energy into being a bust. And shit, why? Why? Because football gonna end for everybody. I don't give a fuck if you play 3 years in the league or if you Peyton Manning and you play 18. It's gonna end. You gotta have something after it ends. So like for us to be so brainwashed and thinking that, you know what I'm saying, like, shit, this is all I got. It can't be, cause shit, you only gonna play football for, if you lucky, your 20s. That time in your 20s, shit, you gotta be able to build on what you're trying to do in your 30s and your 40s. And really, I'm a man. I'm a black man in America. So shit, for me, it's all about legacy. Cause shit, they try to erase that shit for us. You know what I'm saying? They try to take away history and shit. So. That's the main thing. Anything that I do, I'm trying to make sure that motherfucker that is legendary type shit.
I feel that.
And going off of that question there, do you think football? Because I know for me, I feel like football saved me. And I'm not even gonna say I feel like I'm 100% no. Without football, I wouldn't be on this podcast with y'all right now. Like football, I didn't have and I'm talking to the youth on this one as well. You know, like he said, having another plan. This ain't football ain't the only way, but it can get you. It can open up that door to get you to, whatever college you want to get to, or that whatever destination you want to make it to. But you got to use it for what it is, because they're gonna use you at the end of the day. So while you getting used, you do some using too. So that's the biggest thing I want to tell. Don't think I'm getting recruited. Don't go get a freaking cooking degree if you ain't gonna cook. Go while you there playing ball. Really, network. Network and put your foot down to open up other doors for you in that ball, or when you finally you don't get the pad up no more, because like he said, that time is coming at some point.
For real, and that's the main thing. Like, bro, I'm an East Side Indianapolis kid, bro. I never had no passport, but playing football got me over in Canada. You know what I'm saying? Got me able to go to Montreal and British Columbia, Vancouver, and go to fucking, you know what I'm saying? I done been all over Canada, you know what I'm saying? And that was an experience that changed my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Canada is so fucking dope because it's the closest thing to America, but it's not. They don't have their history, their background they didn't have slaves. So you're going to meet people that look like us, you know what I'm saying? But they know their heritage. You know what I'm saying? You're going to meet a light-skinned chick and she'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm East African and Ethiopian.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm saying?
They want
like,
strip. They want strip of that.
That's different.
yeah, and then you're gonna be like, she gonna be like, what are you? I'm be like, shit, I'm African American. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's not. I mean, now it's a heritage behind it because we got generations of stuff that can been there. But being up there and just like being able to experience it, bro, like, you know, we from that. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna keep me and Shaq, we from that. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you from Chicago, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so y'all know niggas get busy out here. So like, I started carrying a gun when I was like 14, bro. Like, not even just on no tough guy shit, just on some, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always been better. It's always better to be caught with one than without one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I'm from Trey 5 Mafia, bro. Like, that's just how it's always been. So it's like to move somewhere where the police don't even carry guns because guns are just so not a thing, bro. Like, this one chick told me that they had the last school shooting was in 1990 something.
Sheesh. That's different.
Bro, what? Like,
that's different.
Before the pandemic, goddamn it was school shootings every other week.
Fact.
Definitely.
Like, just dealing with that and just dealing with that type of people, having interactions with those type of people that are just that. Like, people in Canada didn't lock their doors at night and shit. Like,
it was just different.
Like,
feel like a home.
It's just different. It's a different interaction. Like, when I first went up there, I was nervous. You know what I'm saying? I got my back in the corner type shit. Like, standing real trying to size niggas up like you in a joint or something. Like, you feel me? You really like you'll until people start traveling and seeing more of the world and stuff, they really think that America is the world.
Is the world.
And it's not.
That's how they shape it with like the social media. It's like a lot of the stuff that, like you said, it's a different avenue that they got here. When they got to their location that they at right now. So a lot of black people, what a lot of people fail to realize is that when we were stripped of that heritage, they always feel for a need to be clean to something. Like, all right, now I need something to define me. I'm in this game now. Like, this is me. Like, I got a family now. Like, I got something to cling to. Right. Whereas they know exactly where they come from. They got something to put pride in. You feel me? They got heritage. They got we really still trying to figure out and make our mark as an equal person in America. I don't care how soon they try to make it seem like, oh yeah, it got so much better. For example, we've been in slavery for 4 years. It's still not a hate crime for lynching. And then on top of that, the COVID happened in 2020. They got a bill for Asian hate already, and we done been dealing with getting murdered, massacred, all that, and we ain't got no hate. No, you come on, bro. Like, so it's tough and you two are fathers, so y'all raising kids in this type of environment. Is that like what we was talking about on the last episode? If you were to type like go ahead, pick up and take off, if y'all got y'all stuff taken care of, would Canada be one of those places that you will raise your family in? Like, you know how people are like, I want to get away from America.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Easily. Yeah. I would easily raise a family in Canada just because, bro, like, it's not, it's just different, bro. Like, it's a different interaction. It's a different way of thinking. You're dealing with a different type of mindset of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, and it's not China, it's not, you know what I'm saying, Africa, you know what I'm saying? I haven't been in none of those places, but you know what I'm saying, you're going to think that those people just look different, the food's different. Like, Canadian food is different too, you know what I'm saying? Like I lived in Alberta. Alberta is known for like having the best meat in the world, you know what I'm saying? So like, whenever I was up there and I was playing ball, so I was getting paid, you know what I'm saying? My first contract, and I don't be caring about talking about numbers and shit like that, cause shit, that shit don't matter to me. Like, I didn't have money. I didn't get broke before. Yeah, so like my first contract, I signed for like $52,000 for like 6 months. You know what I'm saying? And shit, I was getting money, so I was eating steak. I was eating all different types of steak.
I'm eating good with this.
I'm eating good.
They got this spot called the Cactus Club up in Canada, boy.
So give me some alpaca. Y'all got some alpaca, baby?
Listen. You can go get you a goddamn black and Creole chicken from Cactus Club, boy. That shit gonna be good.
I gotta try that. I gotta try that.
Yes, it's fire. And that's the thing too, though, bro. Like people don't even know, bro. Like, Toronto's only an 8-hour drive from here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I heard.
Like, it's like driving to Atlanta, bro. Like, Even whenever I wasn't playing football, bro, I'd hop in the car and go up and shoot. It's 4 hours to Detroit, and then Ambassador Bridge is where Canada and America meet.
Mhm.
You hop on Ambassador, then it's 4 hours to Toronto.
Oh, that's nothing.
And then Montreal is only like an hour ride from Toronto. Shoot, Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada, is like 2 hours from there, bro. Like, bro, Canada's the shit, bro. Like, and Montreal is so dope because everyth's in French. You know what I'm saying? Like, the women is nice as hell. You know, they real friendly. And just the women, just like the people in general up there, but the women up there be like, they'll see you and be like trying to hop on you, bro. You know how like it is in America, like American women like thug niggas and all that.
Facts.
Bro, Canadian women love American men, bro. They just love us because they just think that we just dangerous and they just think we just the hoodest motherfucker. Like they just think that it's just like.
They think you Bruce Willis. They think you Doc.
Man, they think that you. They think, and then don't let them FaceTime you and you have a pistol on you. So they're like, oh my gosh, you're crazy.
You got
it's not.
he was out there playing. He was out there playing an action hero out there. I'm Shakir Bell, the action hero.
Man, but you know what's crazy too though is like so the CFL ain't even really like big up there in Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like the best sports up there in Canada, it starts off hockey's the number one sport. Hockey's number one. And then basketball is probably gonna be number two. And then probably the CFL and then baseball. You know what I'm saying? And you might go back and forth with that. But like just because Toronto, they got the Raptors and they used to have the Grizzlies and shit like that, basketball is kind of big up there, you know what I'm saying? But shoot, being a professional athlete up there was different because, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, you can, and see, this is the thing, when I was up there, bro, like, I was hustling. Like, I was, you know what I'm saying, like, weed's legal up there, too, so, you know what I'm saying, you can, you know what I'm saying, casually have weed, like, and when I was there, it was just decriminalized, but now you can just, like, you can walk around with a pound in your bag and smoke it in front of the police, all that shit, and you're going to be fine. Like, they're not going to say nothing to you, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I was club promoting up there, too, so, like, because I was a football player, I'd go to the club, I'd be like, shoot, I got, like, they'll tell me bring, like, 2 of my teammates, we'll go to the club, they'll give us a section, they'll give me, like, 500 to 700, probably like a band. I think the most ever I got paid for an appearance was like $1,200 to a band.
Is their money the same as here, right? Or is it different?
Hell no. So yeah, so like they money, our money costs more than they money. So if you take like $500 there, you go to the bank and be like, hey, let me exchange this out. They'll give you like $700 back.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like the exchange rate changes, so it could be 680 one day, 720 one day, 700 one day. Like, cause the exchange rate changes, but shit, they money was cheaper. I mean, it was cheaper out there. But yeah, I go to the club. They'll give me a section, like 2-3 bottles of Henny, and like $500 to a band. You know what I'm saying? And literally, like, bro, like girls like that shit. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, you want to go with the fun dudes? You know what I'm saying? So like, and plus, just like our style is just different, bro. Like. You know what I'm saying? Canadian dudes is and I got a lot of Canadian homies, so you know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with all my homies, but they just a little corny.
So it's like going to Pike. They like Pike Town shit.
Man, it's really they think like it's crazy because they
all Drizzies.
They be trying to be hood, but they really can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was one person that got shot when I was out there that played in the CFL because he was at a nightclub. And they really don't have shootings like that. And that shit, like that stopped the world up there for them. Like,
What?
it was like, it's too dangerous. Like, bro, I swear to God, it was, bro, I advise everybody get their passport, go to Canada first. Like, go to Canada first. You're gonna have the best time of your life. Bro.
I had heard another rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, but the Canadian League, like, the reason you stop playing Canadian is because they like pay their player, like, you from their hometown, if you from Canada, you get paid more even though you're not the best guy, and you wanted
so they got
or is that untouchable?
No, we can talk about it. We can talk about all of it. So there's a 53-man roster, and then they open it up a little bit after like the NFL do their final cuts. But 21 of those spots, or I think it might be 24, 21 or 24 of those spots got to be Canadian field. Like they have to be from Canada. Those players have to be from Canada. So like my team, we had a whole bunch of dope ass niggas on my team that won the championship. We had a whole bunch of dope ass niggas like baller ass niggas, like niggas that left our team and then went back into the league, and then they still in the NFL now type shit. But they gotta make roster spots for the Canadian people. Now my situation was different. You know what I'm saying? Like I played my first 2 years in Edmonton, and my third year I had a contract renegotiation that I just wasn't fucking with. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't feel like I knew what I was doing on the field and how I was measuring up to all the other running backs in the CFL, and I was like, I need y'all to pay me like that. Like I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm gonna tell you, I was trying to touch 6 figures.
I feel you.
I was trying to touch 6 figures. The closest somebody got to it was 85,000, and I ended up taking that. Like I got cut from Ottawa whenever I went up there for training camp just because I wasn't that. They was trying to put me in a fucked up situation, have me be a backup to a nigga, and I wasn't with it. And then I went back up there and played for Saskatchewan. I signed for like 85 racks, and they paid like the majority of it out from when I got there. But I was trying to get them to pay me $100,000 because shit, my first year they didn't want me to play. Like the number one player, I come in the training camp.
Back that was supposed to be dope. That's the
bro. It's this dude named John White, bro. This nigga was hard than a bitch, bro. When I say John White was one of the dopest players I ever seen in my life, bro. Like he was short like me, like, but he was smacking shit. Like he was a nigga that he was like, I like blocking. Yeah. He was like one of them type niggas, but he could tote that pill too. Like I'm talking about. I done seen this dude do some of the craziest motherfucking moves in the game. And then like I played with John White. I played with Chad Simpson. Chad Simpson played for the Colts and for the Buffalo Bills. I played with Joe McKnight, who was like U.S.
Joe McKnight that passed away.
Yeah, R.P. Joe. That's my brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Like now Joe McKnight was my nigga, bro. Like Joe was a real fucking like that was like my on some big brother type shit. But I played with Joe McKnight. I played with Trent Richardson while I was up there.
Trent Richardson wasn't that. He had no vision like that.
You know what's crazy though? Trent was really nice. He was
nice, but he couldn't see.
You know what it was for him whenever he was in the league, bro. Like, and that's what people don't understand about like the pro shit. Like football, like whenever you get to the NFL, it's all about your situation. If you get put in a perfect situation, then you're gonna be able to play for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like Trent went in there, and most of the Alabama running backs went into the league with dumb high expectations. And when he was with the Browns, you know what I'm saying, he getting paid like that. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody, I don't know if you ever seen the documentary about him or whatever, or like the E60, but like he was paying for like over 400 Netflix accounts at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like his people was really like just like, and I ain't gonna speak on another man's money. You know what I'm saying? And even whenever I played with Trent, we talked, but we wasn't on no homie. You know what I'm saying? Like kicking type shit. We went out a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a teammate type shit, but it wasn't no shit like that. But it's bro, like that league shit is literally about the situation you get put in, bro. And that's what determines your longevity. Like a lot of niggas is really dope, bro. Like a lot of niggas is like really fucking good, can tote that pill, can like strong, fast, got all that shit. Like, but it's all about what situation they get put in. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I just remember seeing one run. He was on the Colts, and like he had a touchdown, and bro just cut. I said, bro, I would have like in my mind. I'm like, I would have scored right there, bro. You tripping? I don't know what you doing right there.
I swear, bro, it be like that too, though. Like you be like, damn, bro. Like I know if I got the opportunity, I could do that, motherfucker. Like, but it's, see, like that pro shit, that NFL shit, bro. Like It's a taxi cab waiting outside the hotel every day during training camp.
She ought to take you home.
To send somebody on.
It's a nigga not making the cut every
Oh
day.
yeah, I be watching that like on the little Hard Knocks. They be go
Bro,
get him.
and it's
He
real
in the
life,
weight
bro. You
room doing
can't.
curls.
And a motherfucker come tap you in the shoulder. Can you go get your
Bring
playbook?
playbook.
Yeah.
That's real life, bro. Your whole life can change. You thought you about to move to this city. You thought you didn't already got your girl set up. Like, bro, that shit's real, bro. Like, that's a jungle, bro. Like, that's a real life. It's a real mental game, bro. Like, I seen that shit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, damn, where bro at? Where? Dang,
got a question then. So with you knowing how easily disposable they treat y'all in the business realm as far as the NFL, because it is a business at the end of the day. Like, what would you tell your kids or the youth that you touching if they, because football gonna take somebody someplace that you're dealing with right now, especially with your skill set and what you're teaching them. What would you tell them to help them adjust and like make their mark before they're easily disposable like that, to make sure they family good, make sure they invest money in different areas before they get that boot?
Yeah. So my main thing to tell any of my little dogs that's doing this or that want to do this long term, like I said, man, knock that whole league of bust thing out of your mentality, and don't look at having your focus on something else while you playing as it being a plan B. Look at it as a plan 1A or a plan one. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is plan A is to make it to the league. Plan 1 is to do production, to do, you know what I'm saying, find something that you like to do outside of it. Cause shoot, you know what I'm saying? The main way that people stay in the league is that they just always keep working. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always keep working. No matter if they on the that was kind of like the main thing that made me my rookie year in the CFL was my bad. I didn't. They was basically telling me that I wasn't gonna be the starter. Like, and they'll come in and be like, "Hey, this who we gonna go with this week. This who gonna play. Yada yada yada." So every week that I wasn't the starter, after practice, before I talk to the media, after we do our little running back drills, I'm going in the stadium and I'm doing 10 stadiums. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go. I had a media looking for a reason, like, why ain't he playing? He done just made all these great plays in practice. And he running stadiums afterwards? That's crazy. And that's what like, everybody's watching at that level. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be motherfucking people in the stands during your practices. It's gonna be motherfucking like, yo, the running backs coach, the DB coach, any of them motherfuckers, they be like, man, that motherfucker a hard ass worker. And as long as you keep showing that shit, bro, like, that's what keeps you in that shit. Now, outside of that shit, apply that same type of work ethic to something else. Just apply that same type of work ethic to something else, and preferably do it towards something that you actually like doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, a lot of niggas be like, man, I go to school and get a criminology degree because, you know, cops get paid or they get a pension, or, you know, I'll go be a teacher. But that shit, you're not gonna love that shit, so you're not gonna want to try to see the growth in it. Like, in football, you love it, so you want to see your growth in it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? With my training shit, the shit that I do, bro, like.
And speak on that training. Let us know. Let them know where they can find you. Your Instagram.
Let
them know all that.
So my training Instagram is @struggle.hustle. Man, I train downtown Indianapolis at the YMCA. I take my guys to the hill, take them to the canal, take them on the field. We get in the sand pit. We do sand pit workouts. I put them in the pool. We do pool workouts. And I also train at D1 Finch Creek out in Noblesville. And that's where, you know what I'm saying, that's been just changed. That's like built my level of just what I like, knowing what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, before I was just doing work, putting people through workouts that I put myself through. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I would break down they film, and I'd be like, okay, I see how you do this jump cut. I see how you do this plant cut. I see how you do this speed cut. Let me show you how to tweak it to where we can get it quicker, how we can make it sharper. And then whenever I got to D1, that's whenever I started learning about the body. You know what I'm saying? How to break down people's body mass index. You know what I'm saying? Showing people, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you got this much percent of body fat. We want to get you down to this because then it's going to be able to make you more explosive. You know what I'm saying? We put them on our BMI chart in our facility, and it's like it looks like a scale, but you hold these little electric little nodes, and it basically gives us the whole index of what's going on inside your body.
That's dope.
So like, yeah, man, I've just been able to grow with this shit, and really, one of the main things that I've been putting my efforts into is starting up this company called Running Backs University. It's more so of it's not even more so a company; it's more of a program. The program that I run through Running Back University is called Struggle Hustle Money Muscle, which is basically the whole workout in the same. But at RBU, I teach them about. I break down what it is to be an actual great running back. You know what I'm saying? We break down everything from like they teach you to fight. And this is just one quick example because I'll get too long winded. But whenever they teach you about how to hold the ball, they teach you the 5 points of contact, right? Your fingers, your palm, your forearm, your bicep, and your chest. Those are the 5 points of contact. So with me, to prevent people from fumbling, we do workouts to strengthen your grip, strengthen your fingertips. We do workouts to strengthen that palm so that you'll grab it harder. We do forearm workouts so that we can strengthen that forearm so it's stuck in there. Bicep workouts, chest workouts, and that's how we apply the training to what you do on the field. Same way with like how I teach people how to get in their bag with what makes them special. You know what I'm saying? Speed cuts, power cuts, all those type of different things. So I break down what it is on that field that's gonna make you great. You know what I'm saying? And then I also started a company back in 2017 called Build, Educate, Compete, which is a non-for-profit mentoring program.
Okay.
Where, you know what I'm saying, I just do exactly what I'm doing right now. Just talk to them about like what I went through,
That's
what
major,
I
bro.
like, yeah,
That's
like
major.
what I did, what I went through. You know what I'm saying, struggles that I had, mistakes that I made. You know what I'm saying,
That's major. And I don't want to jump back to high school one last time.
for sure.
What and this is for the kids who's playing at that high level, the best high school in their state, or one of the biggest high schools in their state. What advice can you give them from leaving that high school and going to a smaller school? So say you at a big school, like I compare our school to a SEC or a big
Yeah.
Big Ten, like the fame, the notoriety, then you leave there and you get that body shock of going to Indiana State where y'all listening to country music and on the field and practice. Like how could you tell a young kid that, like, just because you don't make it to that Alabama or Missouri or wherever you're going, what did you do, or where did you pull from in your mental to keep going even though you wasn't where you thought you should be?
Man, just to keep it a buck, man, it's really about just having that grit. You know what I'm saying? Really, just honestly, if you're a ball player, they're gonna find you. The league is looking for the best players in the nation. You know what I'm saying? They be getting Canadian athletes to come over here. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you a ball player, they gonna find you. It don't matter if you a D1 player. I mean, it matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, it matters. But once you get to that combine, once you get to that pro day, once you put that shit on film, bro, that's all that really matters, bro. Like, and if you could as long as you the best motherfucker on that field, as long as you don't take off a rep every time you get on the field, bro, shit, there's going to be a way for you. I promise you, because there's way too many avenues, and especially now, you know what I'm saying. Now that kids can benefit off their likeness. Oh my boy, yeah. If I could go to Indiana State and benefit off my likeness. Oh man, I'd have been selling T-shirts and bells with my number on them. And man, I was a market. See, when I went to Canada, I was a marketing genius. I wasn't wearing a mouthpiece no more, but I had 16 golds in my mouth. So then, like, kids was coming to the game with aluminum foil in their mouth and wearing a bandana. You know what I'm saying? At the games, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's about marketing yourself because, shoot, we not basketball players. You know what I'm saying? People don't see us. So, like, that's kind of what I do with my running back university, too. You know what I'm saying? I do the dope ass videos. I have my dudes that help me with like my product on the production teams that I work with. I had them come and shoot the workouts like it's a music video, just so they can get that type of notoriety. Because you know what I'm saying? Like you hear a dope ass song, you see a dude working out, you're gonna be like, man, who Buddy?
Yeah.
And you're gonna start looking him up, and you're gonna be like, oh, he a player. And then you know what I'm saying? It just roll into that. So I be telling them, man, like if you go into a small school in college, or if you at a small high school, shit, bro, stand out. Be that dude. Like that's the only thing that I really care about. That's why I always talk numbers with anybody that talk football with me. And a lot of my homies are still in the league. You know what I'm saying? I got 3 homeboys that play. Deontay Spencer, Shelby Harris, and Melvin Gordon. They all play for the Broncos. My dog Brandon Zilster plays for the Panthers. My dog, who else? Oh shit, my dog Daniel Ross. He plays for the Jaguars. He a D lineman. Like I got a lot of homies that's in the league. Shoot, my little homie that went to Indiana State, Robert Tanya.
Rob getting it in.
When I was
and Rob, that dude, you know what I'm
facts.
saying? He doing tight end university, which is hard as fuck.
That's a perfect land for him too. He got a nice quarterback.
And he was a QB at first. When I got to Indiana State, he was playing quarterback. And
exactly
like to a tight end.
And that's one thing about college. You know what I'm saying? I tell all the little dudes, like, you might not get your degree. I left school with a semester left to go on my degree. You know what I'm saying? I got a semester left to get my degree, and just ain't went and did it. You know what I'm saying? But I've been able to be successful and start all my businesses and do handle shit the way I've handled it because I've been able to network. I've been able to talk to people. I've been a stand up dude. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers like even with the people that can down my character, you gonna find 10, 20 other people like, yeah, he a high head, but that's a good dude. He ain't gonna have nobody out here fucked up, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna explain his actions. You know what I'm saying? So like that's kind of been like go to college and get those experiences. Go to college and you know what I'm saying, because you're not gonna be able to experience it nowhere else. You got all your life to be a street nigga. You got all your life to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got all your life to just be an average dude. So why you got the opportunity right now to be different, be different.
Yeah.
I got a question for both of y'all, too.
Go ahead, my brother.
All right. So, basically y'all kind of express how football taught y'all life lessons, like the hard knocks, get back up, all that. It took y'all so many different avenues. Like, you were able to build yourself as a person and apply that stuff to real life. Because of the positives that y'all got from that, and now you got people talking about CTE, people talking about like all the negatives, like people when they go down the line and have later health issues, mental health outbreaks, stuff like that, where they're not that supported while they're going through that phase. But once they flash out, you know, this is nothing like him, but we gotta condemn him for this, that, and the third, when it's really an ongoing issue. Since you got all those positives out of that, and y'all both are parents, and y'all both got heavy hands into the youth, are you going to allow your kid to play football, or like how you feel about it?
I got a daughter, but when I do have a son, because you know what I'm saying, I want to have more kids, you know what I'm saying. But hell yeah, because I felt like, bro, my list of injuries is long as hell, bro. I done broken all my fingers. I done bruised my sternum. I dislocated my shoulder again in that IU game that you was talking about. I dislocated my shoulder. I done fucking, like I said, 7 concussions. So my very last injury in the CFL that I had, I dislocated 3 toes and I popped I chipped a piece of bone off of my big toe, all at the same time.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's what I'm saying. But like but that's the mentality of an athlete. You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality of the warrior, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't trade none of that shit for what football actually did for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just like making money off of it or going and playing on TV or doing none of that shit. Like, not just that, just like realizing that, bro, people not gonna give a fuck in this world. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you do the right thing, like football is such a the game of football is such a correlation to real life that I couldn't take that opportunity away from somebody else that, you know what I'm saying, it would help. Like, I was a young dude, bro, and I used to like fighting and all that shit. Like, and I'd be telling people that too. I'd be like, bro, people got to realize that about football players. From the age of 6 to the age of 24, I was a football player. I was running into people on a daily. Like, think of that. Just think of that. If you just doing this for 18 years straight, where you just butting heads with it, you running, you falling on the ground, you doing all that type of shit, and you do that for 18 years, and then you stop doing that. I'll be 30 next year. I'm 29 now. I started playing football at 24 type shit. So for 5 years, I haven't been a football player. So like now I had to get used to not having the outlet to get that type of aggression out. Now I got to get used to like that's a totally different. And people never even like make that correlation together, and it be blowing my mind. Like, I be like, bro, if you sit there and you go to a job all day, every day, when you got to sit on your ass, you know what I'm saying, and then you stop working that job for 18 years where you was sitting on your ass. You start doing a job where you gotta run and you gotta walk and shit. That's just gonna be hard for you at first because nigga, you been sitting on your ass. You used to being lazy, but now you gotta get up and you gotta do stuff. Now that process is different for you. It's the same way with football players, bro. Like, we don't have that outlet to get that aggression out anymore. So you know what I'm saying? Like, that us coming back into society and trying to be cool and trying not to spaz out on people, like, it's CTE too, but it's also just like, that's just nature. That's just reality. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I would
that's a great take.
And I got I got 2 sons, and the only thing I wouldn't stop them from playing football, but growing up I didn't have my pops wasn't around in my life to know to give me the game how I know the game. So like when I was a freshman in high school, I played running back. I got hurt, and at our school, only the 30 best freshmen move up and practice with the varsity if they like about to win state, and you automatically get your pass for your sophomore year. Otherwise, you'll walk on. So I got hurt. I came back. Coach wasn't really messing with me at running back. I went to safety, which I like defense better anyway. So I'm probably better than I was at defense than I ever was at running back. I regret.
That's crazy because nigga, you was a dog.
I regret not staying on defense. So now, now that me and you both play running back, now you even see like running back has changed. Like, a lot of running backs don't get drafted in the first round. Most teams carry 3-4 running backs. The longevity of the whole running back position has changed. Like, you got to be able to catch. Like, it's a whole lot than just being able to run the ball. So with me being a dad and going through all that, I'm gonna set my son up to play slot. I'm gonna set my son up to play corner. Stuff that people played for 10, 13 years. And then also, like, I didn't play baseball, so I know you play baseball, Banks. I got my son in baseball. He love it, and I know the longevity in baseball.
That's how you get paid.
Yeah, I'm talking. I'm a rock with him.
So when that bag difference, you can brag different. Baseball is definitely how you get paid.
So like I said, even from growing up with just a mom, like, even from my diet and stuff like that, I would come home from practice and eat a pork chop and a zebra cake and get up and go work out the next day all day. And, you know what I'm saying? So like, me not having a pops to being present in both my son's life every day, I can get them the game and get them the sauce how it's supposed to be given. So now they coming in ahead of the game. They're not starting at 0 like I did. Now they gonna know going in, like, hey, this is how you gonna have to handle this. You can't lash out. You can't do this. I can give them that. Whether they want to hear it or not, or whether they follow it, at least I know I can lay that blueprint from my own personal experiences. Playing varsity, playing in college, playing multiple sports. Like, so I'm never gonna tell them no, but I'm not gonna be mad if they be like, I want to play baseball, I want to just do track. I'm not gonna be like, you don't want to play football. And I hate that when people be like, you living through your kids or you doing this. It's like, no, I'm giving my kid every opportunity that I didn't have.
I'm giving them the best shot.
Only thing I didn't like about some dads, and I'm pretty sure everybody done dealt with this at some point in their career, they have a dad who give money to the school, or they dad a coach, and their kid not even that good, but he gonna get the pass, he gonna play because he is that. See, I know I don't never want that for my kids. I hated that, but I'm gonna be the. I'm
That
gonna.
ain't happening my senior year. That's my senior year in the nutshell,
Yeah.
bro.
So like, but I'm gonna support my son. You know, I'm gonna post. I'm a hundred and I mean 1,000,000%. He gonna get all my love. Like I'm not gonna downplay my or downgrade my love for my kids off the fact you hating on the internet because I'm spending all this time with my kid or I'm taking my kid and you know putting that time with them. So I'm not gonna let nobody trick me out my spot with my kids. Like we gonna do it all. Like until he tell me he don't want to do it, we gonna do it. Whatever he want to do, we gonna get it done.
I would say, speaking on the football term for my brother, he didn't start playing till his freshman year because my people wouldn't let him play. He ended up going to North Park, playing out there for 4 years. Like that was just off of 4 years of playing football.
So imagine what you
So and I know like he might not say it, but he probably think like, bro, if I at least got 2 more years, you feel me? I would have been that. I would have been that. So based on that, like they kind of taught me a little bit because I'm going to let them know like, hey, these are the dangers of the game. If you're willing to take that risk when you like old enough to make a decision, I'll probably start him off with flag like you doing your son. And then once he get like around like 13, 14, like I'm letting him know like, hey, you can understand this now. Like, hey, this real. Let's get it. Like, but he already have like some of the fundamentals, stuff like that, like to gear towards it. I wouldn't stop him though. Like I feel like your kid, like you said, you can't live through your kid. You can't set boundaries on your kid. Let them get them the information to know like what they getting themselves into. Give them a little bit of it. Let them feel it. And if they ain't feeling it, then they can make that decision themselves.
I feel that. Before we jump into this last question, we want to shout out our first sponsor, Jet Life Co.
Jet Life Co.
Designer streetwear on Instagram, Jet LYFE Jet Life Co. Designer streetwear. Shout out to Reem and Sean out of Chicago, coming with some
two stand-up dudes,
new clothing
in the community.
line. Check them out. Check them out. They got some drip for you guys. But the last question, and I feel like we had to ask this question. Out selling base, we got to ask this one. Who is your Mount Warren Central Mount Rushmore?
Running backs or just players?
Everybody. Yeah.
Okay. My top 4 players. My top 4 players ever is gonna be.
Well,
Jeremy
Finch. You can do 5. You can do 5.
5. I can do 5. Jeremy Finch, Darren Evans. They're gonna be on there. Gotta do that. David Bell.
Got to.
Easily.
Got to. Shout out to D Bell, Purdue, about to get drafted. Yeah. Shout out to that young bull.
Yeah, he a monster. See, when you say 5, it had to be Desmond Tardy and Dexter Taylor. That had to be my 5. You gotta be.
That's a crazy 5. You
gotta be.
You want to put yourself up there?
Man, I do. I'm in the top. I'm in the top for running backs, but all around players, I can't even do.
You can't do it.
Nah, not for all around players. If I would have done some shit like some major shit my junior year, like I was only all conference my junior year. You know what I'm saying? Like I had some cool little numbers my junior year, but it wasn't like that. Everybody that I named, you know what I'm saying? They was like that for
Mr. Football,
few years. Yeah, that was Mr. Football. And see, David lost Mr. Football. Everybody was a Mr. Football except for David.
That's because Ramir took his votes. They was on the same team.
You know what's fucked up though is that's some bullshit because the dude who won it was a fucking 1A dude. Yeah. And was like,
and it was crazy though. Ramir that year, ran for. I think he broke. I know he broke your record, right? I think he
went for 3,000, but he didn't go for 3,105. I went for 100.
I thought he went for 4. Or am I tripping?
He had 400 in like 2 games, rushing in like 2 games.
I thought he went for 4K or something. I mean,
yeah, he had 3,000, and he played one less game than us too, though. So he did 14 games, and like I said, bro, he had 2 games where he rushed for like 400.
Yeah, I seen his O line. His O line was when I talk about running backs, I gotta throw him up there too now because his O line was awful.
He had a game where he had 7, 8 touchdowns, bro. I said, this little nigga boy, nuts, bro.
I had the pleasure of meeting him in real life,
Nuts.
bro. He like 5'4", bro.
Yeah, he's short than the bitch. He's short than the bitch. He's strong in the motherfucker, but he's short than the
built
bitch.
like Maurice Jones-Drew. He got huge. His legs is
Yeah.
huge. But
he is Southern Illinois doing his thing.
But we just want to say we appreciate you for jumping on the podcast.
For sure, bro.
Had to
Much
reach
love.
out to you. I know the youth. Hopefully the youth check in with this one, man, because it was a lot of gems that they definitely gonna need, along that journey. We touch a lot of football players from just our past and just college and other places like that. So we just want to give you your flowers, man. You definitely
I appreciate that.
you definitely you took the bullet for a lot of people, and you also was a role model to a lot of people in the same time. So we just want to say we appreciate you, man, and keep it up. And anytime you're doing something with the youth, talking back, or you're doing something with the training, you need help, and always reach out. We always around.
Sign me up for sure.
No, that's love, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all having this platform, man. I can't wait to see how this shit grows, brother, for real. So I appreciate y'all, man. Follow my pro page at struggle.hustle. And sure, man, come get this work, man. For real, I'm like that with that training shit.
Appreciate you, brother, man. Be easy.
Yes, sir.
Be easy.